Hello, Doctor Who fans, and welcome to a special episode of Who Universe here. As today we're going to have an opportunity to take a look at the Doctor Who Proms for the 50th anniversary. This is the Doctor Who Proms, again, celebrating 50 years of Doctor Who back in the 2013, when Doctor Who's, again, was celebrating 50 years of being the Britain's favourite sci-fi series on the BBC network, and of being a part of the culture of sci-fi for that long. And this was, and you know, the 50th, I think most of you who were around for the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who will know how special that year was for Doctor Who, especially with the departure from Matt Smith. Matt Smith's announcing his departure, and obviously, time they were preparing for the announcement of Peter Capaldi to take over from Matt Smith as the 12th Doctor, which was a big deal because, of course, Peter Capaldi was a very established actor at this point. So, of course, him taking on to Who was his next big thing for him. And then, of course, on top of that, Matt Smith was also going to be teaming up with popular face David Tennant for the 50th anniversary story, The Day of the Doctor, which had done brilliantly for the BBC Out to Who by attracting a lot of people as they brought David Tennant and Billy Piper back, along with a face from Gavin and Stacey, who also got a chance to be involved in the 50th anniversary special. And then, of course, the Christmas episode that year, saying farewell to Matt Smith's 11 being the highlight and the final moments of the year for Doctor Who in the 50th anniversary. So let's begin, shall we? So Doctor Who Proms had its first audio release on BBC Three on the 13th to the 14th of July. The TV broadcast didn't happen until the 26th of August, which is roughly several weeks later, with a 75-minute version, BBC One and BBC One HD, with a BBC Three repeat on the 21st of November during the actual anniversary weekend or week for BBC for Doctor Who's 50th anniversary week. You're probably wondering what was the order of musics. They had Act 1, Act 2, and Act 1 begins with Man with a Box, which is a song reminiscent to the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith. We all know how energetic he was as the Doctor. This was basically his theme tune for being the 11th Doctor. It just works for him, along with I Am the Doctor, which is another theme related to the 11th Doctor, and was used a lot during Matt Smith's action scenes as the 11th Doctor. A very powerful theme to represent Matt Smith's 11th very well, and beautiful together as well. And then we had a mini-sode also aired that night where Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman, who respectively played the 11th Doctor and Clara Oswald, basically were trying to get into the Royal Albert Hall. This was also obviously because they filmed this. Matt Smith had his usual hair. Well, we see him on the stage. His head's short, his head's been shaved. The reason because of that, for those who are wondering why his head's a little bit shorter than how he usually looks in Doctor Who, that is because that year he was filming Terminator, a Terminator movie that was going to be released in the following year. Because of that, he had to have his head shaved for that movie because he was supposed to be this character with that much hair. So that's why he went into that role. And because of that role of him basically having to shorten his hair for the role, the reason why he had short hair than he usually does in Doctor Who, and that's why he had to wear a wig for the Christmas special that year to basically make sure that he had his usual hair before his regeneration to the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. So that's basically a little bit of somewhat of a backstory as to why his head's a little bit shorter than what he usually wears in his episodes as the 11th. Nevertheless, it was a really funny moment. We got to see obviously Jenna tried to convince Matt off the stage, and it really worked out. And then, of course, we had another music performance from Carmen. There was a song from that was performed, followed by Companion Suite, where we had music based on Rose, Martha, Donna Noble, Amy Pond as well, represented as part of the Companion Suite from Murray Gold. And then eventually it leads to the Cyber Shard, which is dedicated to the Cybermen. Obviously, Cybermen are huge in Doctor Who, so it makes sense to have their own segment there. And then we had this unusual Takara, which is from another old-fashioned classical music release that was also played, performance as well, which led to the final chapters of Amy Pond, which is related to the Angels Take Manhattan, aired just months before this concert. So it was a kind of a recent finale for Series 7 regarding Amy and Rory. The Rings of Architect episode related to part 2 of Series 7, which aired a couple of months before this performance was happening. So it was kind of newish at the time. And then we come to Act 2, which gave us the All Strange Creatures, which is related to Series 3 when David Tennant was in charge as 10th Doctor. We all love David Tennant as Doctor Who, right? And then we have The Impossible Girl related to Clara Oswald, Jenna Coleman's character, girl with the festival hair. I would imagine that's related to Donna. I'm not too sure who they're related to here, but yeah, that was performed there. Then we had a classic medley, which was the most beautiful part of this concert, where they were playing music from the past. Basically, this section dedicated to many composers, Doctor Who's past, from Dudley Simpson to Pete Howells, Mark Arsenal, Michael Clarke, Paddy Kingslanes, just to name some of the composers from Doctor Who's past. To Who theme did the TARDIS sounds, did the original Cybermen theme from the classic years, music from City of Death to Sylvester McCoy's 7th Doctor music as well, and music related to the 6th Doctor, and yeah, basically all things classic Who. These guys were responsible. Yeah, lots of great sounds and music related to classic Who, and even some voice line from all 7 Doctors who had represented all the 7 faces of classic Who series to who represented series of the show from 1963 to 1989. So there you go. And then we had You're Gonna Have to Take Those Clothes Off, which is obviously related to a Matt Smith story. Obviously the Snowman. I never know why, but I only know who, which is also from the Snowman. And then first there were Daleks, which was related to Asylum of the Daleks, when obviously the Daleks had a chance to interact with the viewers, because obviously they're probably more popular than the Cybermen generally. Name of the Doctor, they play music from that finale of Series 7, which led to Day of the Doctor. They weren't able to play music from Day of the Doctor because they were trying to keep it secret from everybody, because Stephen Moffat was being very strict about what could be revealed about Day of the Doctor, what couldn't be, and he was trying to be really strict about it. And then Song for 50, that was Murray Gold's song for the 50th anniversary that he debuted as part of the concert. It was a very unusual tune, but all right, I suppose. And then we have Val Dezem was obviously David Tennant's regeneration song, regenerated into Matt Smith. Very emotional regeneration that gets me crying all the time when I see it. But yeah, it was a very emotional, wasn't it, the day that David Tennant regenerated in the end of time. I'm sure many of us have memories of crying that day, including myself. And then it ends with the Doctor Who theme, with the latest arrangement from Murray Gold, related to the Series 7 version, before they changed it up the following year for Peter Capaldi. But there you go. So that is just some of the songs and the sounds that perform for the 50th anniversary, honouring not just New Who, but also classic Who as well, being represented as part 50th anniversary Doctor Who Proms celebration, where BBC Proms was celebrating 50 years Doctor Who, part of a very special concert that they put together to celebrate 50 years of the show. So I want to know in the comment section below what you guys make of Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. What did you make of the concert if you did see it? And by the way, you can watch this, by the way, BBC iPlayer. It's still there, luckily. So you can still watch any of the previous Doctor Who proms. They've got one from 2008. They've got one from 2010 when Matt Smith debuted. If you want to see any previous Doctor Who proms, and of course, got a new one coming out, which will be getting a TV broadcast in time for Christmas. Probably do a review of in the new year if you want to hear about my thoughts on this year's Doctor Who prom for 2024 as we enter the new year. But nevertheless, thanks for watching. And yeah, let me know what you make of the Doctor Who proms, or if you were there at the time and have memories of being there, then I would love to hear about your fascinating stories of being at the Doctor Who proms for the 50th anniversary and experiencing the sounds of Doctor Who at its finest. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you all very, very soon. So see you then.